These mathematical objects have inverses if and only if they are bijective. If one of these objects is onto, then its entire range is covered. If it is one to one, it can pass the horizontal line test in addition to the vertical line test, which all of these objects can pass. For 10 points, give this mathematical term describing a relation for which each input has exactly one output, often written f of x. And the answer is function. For a set with n elements, one type of this quantity is equal to n times the reciprocal of the sum of the reciprocals of each number in the set. Another type of this quantity takes the nth root of the product of n numbers and is always less than the aforementioned harmonic type. A third type of this quantity is equal to the sum of n numbers divided by n. For 10 points, give this term, whose arithmetic type is often called an average. And the answer is mean. One concept describing this two-dimensional shape involves placing one focal point at infinity. This shape is formed by intersecting a plane with a cone parallel to its slant height. This conic section with eccentricity of 1 can be defined as all points equidistant from its focus and its directrix, which is a line perpendicular to this shape's line of symmetry. For 10 points, name this shape traced by quadratic functions like y equals x squared. And the answer is parabola. Two vectors with a cross product of 0 have this relationship, which does not exist in elliptic geometry. Euclid's fifth postulate is named for this property. Two lines with this property are equidistant from each other and will have congruent corresponding angles if they are crossed by a transversal. For 10 points, give this term that describes two lines with the same slope in the same plane that never intersect. And the answer is parallel. This number is squared in the solution to the Basel problem. One experiment to calculate this number exploits the Buffons needle problem. Archimedes approximated this number, the number of radians in 180 degrees, by bounding it by the perimeters of 96 sided polygons, finding that it is less than 22 over 7. For 10 points, give this ratio of the circle's circumference and diameter an irrational number approximately equal to 3.14. And the answer is pi. The formula for Euclidean distance between 2 points is derived from this theorem. James Garfield drew a trapezoid to begin his proof of this theorem. Sets of positive integers that satisfy this formula are known as namesake triples, including 3, 4, and 5. For 10 points, name this geometric theorem named for an ancient Greek mathematician that compares the sides of a right triangle, often written as a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And the answer is the Pythagorean theorem. The truncated icosahedron features 20 faces of this shape and 12 pentagonal faces. The area of this regular polygon is 3/2 times root 3 times the side length squared. This is the polygon with the most sides that can regularly tile the plane. If its angles are bisected by its diagonals, equilateral triangles are formed because each of its angles measures 120 degrees. For 10 points, name this regular polygon with 6 sides. And the answer is regular hexagon. The Fari type of these objects include only proper reduced fractions. These objects are often described as functions with domains restricted to the natural numbers. When their terms are combined by addition, they are called series, and they are called convergent if their terms approach a limiting value. One of these that begins 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13 is named for Fibonacci. For 10 points, give this mathematical term for an ordered list of numbers. And the answer is sequences. The theory governing these objects was developed by Zermelo and Frankel in the early 20th century to avoid a paradox discovered by Bertrand Russell. The size of one of these objects is called its cardinality, and the intersection of two of these objects yields anything that is found in both of them. These objects are unordered and do not include any repeated elements. For 10 points, give this mathematical term for a collection of objects. And the answer is set. This function gives the y-coordinate of a point rotated from standard position along the unit circle. This odd function, which passes through the origin and has a period of 2 pi, is the reciprocal of cosecant. For an acute angle in a right triangle, it is the ratio of the opposite side to the hypotenuse. For 10 points, name this trigonometric function which gives the tangent function when divided by cosine. And the answer is sine.